Good morning, everybody. The social media world out there. It's Chris, your favorite coach, again, back at you with another edition of Conversations with Chris, where I meet interesting people along my path and they say something or do something that has inspired me. And I want to share that message with the rest of you. So thanks for joining, whether you're watching live or on the the replay. We are really here. We're real people, right? Say hi to Tammy from up in Massachusetts.
Hi, everyone.
Yep, good deal, good deal. So Tammy, you've got a lot going on. I mean, people can see in your bio, you're, mother of 3 adult children, kind of got these 2 businesses going on. I think the thing that really impressed me about you is when we were talking about it, you've been having you had a great couple of years here, right? So tell us about your world, your business, how you got to where you are.
Well, I got into real estate back in 2020 during COVID that I decided to try it out. I left my job at 22 News, which is a local NBC affiliate out here. And then, we went through COVID. I was actually interviewing for a position at a local radio station out here, and everything got shut down. So the manager, he was great, kept in touch with me during the whole time. And while this is all happening, I said, I've always wanted to do real estate. I've been thinking about it for the last 7 years. I might as well just try it, go for it. So I went and did my pre-licensing classes and took the exam and got licensed in October of 2020. And, I'm with a team right now on EXP Realty, and they're a great team. Did 3 months of training, solid training, and then kind of like hit the ground running in January of 2021. And I really, really wanted to do well. At the same time, I had, when all the COVID craziness was done with, the manager at the radio station brought me back in for a second interview, ended up hiring me, and I started with them in January of 2021 as well. So here I am with 2 jobs, 2 very demanding jobs. I'm doing sales with the radio stations and real estate. So like I said, I was very, very motivated and aggressive as far as like wanting to ramp up my business. And I ended up closing 19 transactions in my first year of real estate. So, and in addition to working a full-time radio sales job.
So that's nothing to sneeze at. And that happens to a lot of us. We decide to do one thing and we decide to do the other thing. Then kind of when it rains, it pours. And then we're now all of a sudden, because you're not really part-time. It's kind of like you're working 2 full-time things on top of being a mom and everything else. So closing 19 transactions your first year, that's while having another gig going on. What do you attribute that level of success to? That's not common. It could be an average realtor's year that's been in the business 5-6 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I'm motivated. I want to do well. And it's also a passion. I think I really, really found my niche and I became very passionate about it. And I love the people that I'm connecting with. It started with a lot of, I did get some calls through Zillow. That's part of what the team does for us is, they send us leads through Zillow. So I had a few buyers that I kind of started off with, and then it turned into referrals from my buyers and from my clients. And then, also my sphere of influence is huge. I was in media sales for the last 7 years. So I made a lot of great connections and met a lot of people through the years. And I think because when I wanted to do real estate way back when, I really think that truly it was meant for me now, because I had teams that I made in the last 7 years to do the job well and, have network. And obviously it's like that I contribute a lot to my referral business and my sphere of influence. So I'm grateful.
That's awesome. So you had because lead generation is number 1 with any industry. So you think it's kind of your sales experience in media sales coupled with kind of plugging into a good team that helped you out with some lead generation, as well as doing well while you're on the job, led to referrals early on. We usually tell people that after a year you'll start to get some referrals going if you do things 5-star service and you keep in touch with people. So guys, we're on with Tammy. If anybody has any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. We'll get them up here. Questions or comments, we'd be happy to address them. We are live. So And looking at those 19 transaction sides, how many of them were kind of cold, brand new leads, and where did they come from, as opposed to the part of it that was kind of warm, cultivated leads that people you've been working with?
I'm gonna say maybe 7 of them were probably brand new, and then the rest were, like I said, referrals and my sphere of influence.
Nice, right? So I mean, that's pretty good. So, how'd you get started with? I mean, because we tell everybody brand new, just start. Don't don't think about how or what. Just do the work and start working on building a CRM and a way to keep in touch with people that you know. Building that nest egg. How did you get started? Was it just day one? You were like, okay, I knew I'm going to be in this for the long term, so I'm going to start building a database and having a tribe of people to work with.
Yeah, well, we have a database. So what I did was I started with, and this is part of the training that the team kind of gave us, but had an Excel spreadsheet, and I literally just listed everybody I know and plugged it into the database. In addition to, like I said, when the Zillow calls come in, they are also in the database. So every now and then I'll do like an email drip and just reach out to people. Just stuff that's of value to them. It could be like daylight savings time. Change the batteries in your smoke detector. So just little stuff like that just provides value to everyone, and let them know, like, keeping top of mind. Another thing was I'm very, very active on social media, and just letting people know I'm not just posting real estate stuff. I'm posting my life. This is me as a real person. I'm not just a realtor, but it just, I think it helps. It really, really helps, and just keeping that social media presence, staying top of mind, and knowing that, just if you're a likable person, people will reach out to you. So
Yeah, I mean, so many things there, right? And I love what you're saying, like, just keep in touch in between. How can we add value to people outside or of in between transactions? And Brett Boji from Florida, he just said, Tam, you rock. I was just going to ask where you get the sale from. Brett has a theory. He said, all you need is 40 past clients, and you never have to kind of make a cold call again or service a cold lead if you kind of knock it out of the park. So what are some other things? I mean, now that you had 19 transactions in your first business, you got this. I mean, are you looking to do things like client appreciation parties? What is the next level for Tammy to step up your, kind of value add game to your network?
yeah, it's funny you say that, the client appreciation parties. I actually do want to do something this year. During the holidays, our team does pies. We give out pies to our clients. So this year, I think what I want to do is put together something like that, where I can actually have people come together now that we're out of COVID and people are getting back together again. But yeah, I want to do stuff like that. And another thing too is I'm looking into doing more, like increasing my price point as far as listings go. I want to be more of a listing agent. I love buyers, still want to work with buyers. But I like doing the listings. It's especially with having the radio job as well.
Yeah.
It's not as time consuming. So it kind of, just kind of evens things out a little bit for me.
Sure.
Less stress, but like I said, increasing the price point, maybe even doing luxury listings. And I want to double my volume this year. So it's a lot of work.
We're looking at 38 transaction sides, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. Now, I mean, look, there's no doubt that listings are more leverageable. I mean, we didn't even talk about that. Out of your 19 transactions you did, how many of them are listing side?
I would say half of those were listings.
And that's still not that bad. I mean, so we do see usually buyer heavy business in the beginning for agents. So for you to say about half of them, so maybe you did 8 to 10 listing side transactions. Now, what specifically is going to be your strategies moving forward to kind of move your business to more of a listing based business, and to move that average sale price up? I mean, you've got this connection with the radio station. Are you looking at, in addition to kind of cultivating your nest egg, are you looking at maybe some radio spots, doing things on the radio, kind of getting your message out there?
Yeah, I thought about that. It's definitely something on my radar. So, yeah.
A lot of people have a lot of success with radio, and it's something that we don't think about nowadays with the internet the way it is, and kind of everything is so easily inaccessible. I mean, there's a mortgage company that I've done business with that they have they have a radio show on a Sunday. It's like hours long, and it's they host it. It's music. They're answering questions. So I think there could be an opportunity there, especially if you're connected with that.
Yeah.
First it's going to be like, hey, well, now that you're a year in, who are you in the real estate world? Like, how do you occur to people? How are you showing up? And what do you like? If people, what are your clients saying about you? You have the ideal client. You knock it out of the park. They're so happy. They want to work with you. They've worked with you. And you're great. What are they saying about you?
It's funny. They're great. They're awesome. I've gotten a lot of great reviews from my clients, and they still keep in touch. I keep in touch with all of my clients, believe it or not, and that's what they love. They just, they've said you're so much more than just a real estate agent. You're like family, and they're friends on Facebook too. So they're always commenting on my posts and saying you're awesome and this and that. So, like I said, it's passion. It's the relationships is huge for me. So I think that's why I do so well in this business. It's just because I keep in touch with my clients. I provide value to them and show them that I care. It's not just about the commission check. That's not what it is to me. It's more building those relationships because they're going to keep sending you the business.
Yeah. I say all the time, I said, we do it for the outcome, not the income. And it is a lot of work. And look, in a sea of mediocrity where there's a lot of people at real estate licenses, I don't know if you ever get that, oh, you're in real estate. It's almost like you gave them some bad news or something. They're like, oh, it's hard, isn't it? Isn't there so much competition? Or I was like, well, there's not really a lot of competition. There's a lot of people with licenses, and I want to make that distinction. So it sounds like you pride yourself on your passion, on kind of doing the right thing. And is there anything special about your service that people be like, wow, man, this is like, working with Tammy is different than what I would expect in working with another realtor?
I go above and beyond and constantly keeping in touch with my clients. I'm told all the time that you do more than we expect you to do. And it's true. Like I said, I love people. I don't know. I just go above and beyond. I guess that's all I can say.
That's awesome. And so you're fortunate that you have like some flexibility between both of these businesses that you're in. So what are you looking to maintain yourself in both of these businesses? What's next for you in the real estate business?
Yeah, I think right now I'm looking to maintain. I mean, down the road, I really want to just full on real estate and do that full time. But like I said, I'm still learning a lot, and it's actually funny. All of those transactions last year were not. There were easy ones, but there were a lot of complicated ones. I mean, I ran into a lot of roadblocks, and I remember one of the newer team members on the team. We came in together, and she says to me, "You always get all the complicated transactions," and I just said, "You know what? But I'm learning a lot. I probably learned more in my first year than a 5-year real estate agent has learned, know. And for that, I'm grateful for that too. And again, I'm still learning. I'm dealing with one right now. It's definitely a complication. It's with a tenant. So you're constantly learning in this industry. You really, really are, which is why I love it.
That's awesome. One of my mentors once told me that he's like, the more problems I learn how to solve, the bigger my bank account gets. It's almost like you do more business, more people come to you, the better you get at solving problems. So it's kind of, I'll take some challenging deals, right? And I too ended up with a lot of challenging situations because I was people first. So I tend to work with the people that I liked, right? So, I mean, early on in my career, it's why are you working with those tough first-time home buyers that are barely qualified and looking at a lower price point? It's like, I like these human beings, right? And that'll kind of lead you to a newfound business, right? Working with people like that. That's awesome.
And that's what I was going to say too. Is no matter what transaction you're doing, whether it's a low price point or a complicated person, as long as you're nice to them, and you kind of gotta take the emotions out of it. You have to, otherwise. I don't know. You just you have to be a good person. You have to just deal with it. And like I said, those are going to be referrals down the road. So.
Yeah. I had a client just send me a message maybe last week, said, how do you take the emotions out of this business? And I was like, well, there's no short answer for it. You kind of just do it. She's like, well, maybe this isn't for me. And we all have our moments. I think, it's not always easy, but I think nothing worth it ever is. And I think you're proving that day in and day out here. 19 transactions your first year. Way to go, Tammy. You got 2 gigs going on, 3 kids, and a partridge in a pear tree. So is there any other parting words that you'd like to share with the group here before we bid everybody farewell?
I would just say, you know what, if you really love something and you're passionate about something, go after it. A lot of people tend to get stuck in a job that they don't enjoy. Find your passion and just go after it.
Mm-hmm. It sounds fun, doesn't it? And it might be a little painful, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Thank you so much, Tammy. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
We'll see you out there in the virtual world, everybody. Peace out.